Peter Steinberger was not trying to change anything. He was just tinkering, building a side project the way developers do, a little before work, a little after, no real plan. He pushed it to GitHub on a Tuesday in January. Nobody noticed. That was fine. Most things on GitHub go nowhere. Then something happened. By the end of the week, 10,000 developers had started. By the end of the month, 68,000. To put that in context, React, the framework that powers half the internet, took 3 years to get there. Linux has been accumulating stars since 2012. One guy? 6 weeks. More attention than either of them. Then OpenAI called. This is the story of OpenClaw. What it actually does. Why the most powerful AI company in the world paid millions for something one person built in their spare time. And what it tells us about the moment we are actually living in right now. Let's start with the numbers because they are genuinely insane. 68,000 GitHub stars in 6 weeks. That is not a growth curve. Growth curves have slopes. This was a cliff, except going up. Week 1, a few hundred. Week 2, a few thousand. Week 3, the chart goes vertical and stays there. For comparison, React, which Facebook built with a team of engineers and has been the dominant front-end framework for a decade, 220,000 stars total, built over years. OpenClaw got a third of that in a month and a half. Linux, the operating system that runs most of the internet, most of the cloud, and most of the world's servers, 180,000 stars. Been on GitHub since 2012. OpenClaw got 30% of that in the time it takes most people to finish a Netflix series. The numbers are not the interesting part. The numbers are just evidence. The interesting part is what they mean. Which is that something about this tool hit a nerve that almost nothing else ever has. So, what is it? Here is the version that sounds boring. OpenClaw is a wrapper. It sits on top of AI models and lets them talk to other apps. Here is the version that is actually true. OpenClaw is the thing you did not know you were waiting for. Right now, if you want to use AI, you open an app. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. You go there, you type something, you get something back. You close it. You go back to whatever you were doing. It is useful. It is also slightly annoying in the way that having to open a separate app for every task is always slightly annoying. OpenClaw removes that step entirely. Instead of going to the AI comes to wherever you already are. iMessage, WhatsApp, Slack, Discord. You send a message the same way you would text a friend. An AI agent responds and acts on your behalf. Book the restaurant, summarize the thread, file the report, draft the reply. Done. But the part that caused the explosion, the part that made 68,000 developers lose their minds, was the skills marketplace. Any developer can build a skill. A small program that teaches the AI how to do a specific task. Search this, summarize that, connect to this API, do this workflow, upload it to the marketplace. Other people use it. In the first 2 weeks, the community built over 4,000 of them. Think about what that model is. Platform plus marketplace plus community. You have seen it before. It is the App Store. It is Shopify. It is WordPress. Every major platform of the last 20 years is built on that exact pattern. Peter Steinberger applied it to AI agents before any of the billion-dollar labs thought to. Here is a number that does not get talked about enough: 900 million. That is how many people use ChatGPT every week. 900 million weekly active users. That is more than the population of Europe, more than the entire United States 3 times over. And most of them use it the same way. They open the app, they ask a question, they close the app. OpenAI calls this reactive. You react to a problem by going to get AI. It works. It is also the ceiling, because if AI only helps you when you remember to ask, it is a tool. A good tool, but just a tool. What OpenAI actually wants is for AI to be ambient, present, woven into the apps where your life actually happens, doing things on your behalf without you having to think about it. Not a tool you reach for. Infrastructure you live inside. They have wanted this for years. They have 3,000 engineers. They have more compute than most governments. They have tried. Peter Steinberger figured it out in his spare time. One person built the distribution layer that 900 million users and 3,000 engineers had not cracked. Quietly, in the background. On a Tuesday, that is not just worth paying for, that is embarrassing to have missed. And acquisitions sometimes are how you fix that quietly. OpenClaw is one story, but it is pointing at something larger. OpenAI currently has 85 active models running through their API. A year ago, that number was under 20. Anthropic, Google, xAI, Meta, all running the same race. Major labs are now shipping model updates every 2 to 3 weeks. Not twice a year, every 2 to 3 weeks. And the cost. This is the part that most people have not fully absorbed yet. Running frontier AI used to cost real money. A year and a half ago, processing a single complex request cost around $1. Today, that same request costs less than 1 cent, 99% cheaper, in 18 months. Think about what happens to every industry when the core cost of a thing drops by 99%. It happened with storage, it happened with bandwidth, it happened with compute. Every time, the thing that was previously only for big organizations became available to anyone. AI is in that moment right now. When intelligence is almost free, when the infrastructure is cheap and open and accessible, what matters is not who has the most resources. What matters is who has the best idea. Peter Steinberger had a better idea than OpenAI, and that is not going to be the last time that happens. Let's be direct about what this story actually means. If you are a developer, the interface layer is open. The model wars are becoming less important. What you build on top of the models and how naturally it fits into people's existing lives is the bet worth making. OpenClaw won by not asking users to change their behavior. It met them where they were. That is the template. If you are not a developer, you're about to stop noticing when you are using AI and when you are not. It is going to be in your messages, in your calendar, in your email, in the apps you have used for years. Not as a feature, as infrastructure. The same way you do not notice that WhatsApp runs on servers, you are just going to stop noticing that it is powered by AI. And if you are anyone at all, the thing this story proves is that the gap between having a good idea and having an impact has never been smaller. Not just for AI, for anything that runs on top of this new infrastructure. One person, a laptop, and a Tuesday afternoon. That is the unit of change right now. Peter Steinberger is at OpenAI now, presumably being paid an amount that would make your eyes water. He was just tinkering. This is not a story about an app. It is not even really a story about OpenAI. It is a story about what happens when the underlying cost of a technology drops so fast and so far that the old rules about who can build what stop applying. The labs are running the benchmark races. The researchers are grinding. The investors are writing the checks. And somewhere, right now, someone in their spare time is building the thing that makes all of it make sense to normal people. And they have not pushed it to GitHub yet. That is the pattern. That is what is worth watching. Next week on Data Signal, the AI cost collapse in detail. Why prices dropped 90% in 18 months, which companies it is quietly destroying, and what gets built when intelligence costs almost nothing. Subscribe so you do not miss it.